Welcome everyone to Brian's Action Figure Reviews, and I'm here today with a brand new pop culture interview. And today on the show, I've got a fellow YouTuber actually. His name is Dayle Milward, and he's from the YouTube channel Bearded Geek Reviews. So I'm not going to give him any much more of an introduction. I'm going to let him explain it himself. Here's Bearded Geek Reviews. Enjoy, everybody. Welcome back to Brian's Action Figure Reviews, and today we have Dayle Milward from Bearded Geek Reviews, who is a fellow action figure reviewer like myself. Say hi, Dayle.
Hi.
Okay, so just tell us who you are, what you do, etc. Well, give us an introduction.
My name's Dayle, but obviously I go by the Bearded Geek on YouTube. I've had the channel for just over a year, and basically I collect action figures, Funko Pops, comic books, and pretty much anything geek related. Really, I do the odd movie review. I collect NECA horror figures, so yeah, I've got quite the collection.
Nice one. So, what got you into doing the reviews? How come you started doing a YouTube channel?
Um, Originally it was Glenn Webb for the action figures. I saw some of his last videos because I even though I collected, I wasn't aware that there was sort of the YouTube sort of need for it or the viewers for it. And I sort of started watching Glenn's stuff, obviously before he sadly passed away. And through him, I found Super Sorrel, people like that, Shatmas Prime, and it must have been a good sort of 2 years then. I kept buying, and my partner was like, "Look, you're buying all this stuff, and then you're sitting here watching hours and hours of other people, including yourself at this point," because I'd commented on a few of your videos before I'd started my channel, and she was like, "You need to start recording yourself." I was, well, I don't know about that. I'd be awkward on camera. She's like, "But you've been in punk bands and metal bands, and you've been on stage in front of fair few people. Why can't you just sit in front of a camera?" And it's just sort of grown from there. I genuinely didn't think I'd get any views when I started.
Glenn Webb is kind of like the father of this on this side of the world, isn't he? Because
Yeah.
he's the first guy I started watching as well. And Ash, when I interviewed him, he said Glenn Webb was one of the first guys he started watching too.
Yeah, there's Shatmas is doing sort of the progression of the Wolverine figures at the moment, and he's sort of said that it's through what Glenn Webb used to do. Is he sort of doing it in tribute? So Glenn, brilliant YouTuber that sort of brought people all over the world together, and sort of people like me just sat in a little purpose-built geek room making videos, and people enjoy it. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's the same as myself. So you mentioned there you were in a band. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Um, I never sort of did anything big with it. I played sort of small festivals and sort of small shows. Um, I did a lot of sort of metal bands. I've done them since I was 16, 17, and I stopped about 4 or 5 years ago purely because of work. I was in a management role for a large security company, and I just didn't have the time to be touring. And obviously, I've got children, so um, yeah, I decided to sort of knock that on the head, and that's sort of what led into trying this channel as well. Was I
Yeah,
needed a hobby. I've always been a very busy guy, and without the music, there was something missing. Even though I didn't have much time, but I can do this sort of on my time, record as much as I can in whatever time I've got, and then release it when I want to release it.
yeah, you need to fill that creative hole, like, don't you?
Yeah, I also do a lot of drawing as well. Or I used to. I don't know whether I got bored of it. I was doing drawings to order and stuff, and I kept getting let down. People asking me to do custom pieces of art. I'd spend a couple of days on it, and then they'd never get back to you. It was like, I sort of lost heart in that, but that time has gone into sort of the YouTube channel.
It's good. It's good though that you always kind of had your head in something, like, it's good to be that creative, like.
Yeah, it's good to be creative. It's good to have. I've got at times quite a stressful job, and it's a nice, healthy release. It's good for me. I mean, I started to get my partner involved as well, and she did this comic book. She doesn't read comic books, so I did this sort of quiz with her with pictures of
Oh,
comic
I've
book superheroes.
seen bits of it.
And she shocked me with how much she knew just from watching me watch YouTube or watching me sort of reading comic books. So yeah,
It,
it is good.
it's almost a proud moment. And the same with my missus here. I'd be playing games and playing comics, and when she like realizes something, I'm like, "What? You knew this?"
Yeah, obviously with my missus, she randomly just gives me figures, and I'm like, how did you know that I needed this? She's like, oh, I've seen you watching a review. I was like, yeah, but I watched reviews of stuff that I've already bought. Like, me and you have bought the same figures, but I
Yeah,
watch your reviews anyway because I just like to watch people review.
yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
And obviously, it's somewhere in her brain, she's realised what I've got, what I haven't got, and she just genuinely goes out of her way to get me stuff as a surprise. Or like this month, because obviously we're on furlough, it's right, we can't buy anymore. And then she's sending me photos from B&M, the toy aisle's open, and they've got these Walking Dead figures. I'm like, right, I'll be down now.
Yeah,
So,
I had got a Game of Thrones Jon Snow. I just actually put up the review today from there a few days ago. It's called Home Savers here. It's basically B&M as well. Like, but we get all the same kind of stuff as well.
yeah.
Okay, so go, no, go on. Were you going to say
Uh,
something?
yeah, I've got the Game of Thrones figures. I think did you put a review up today of the Game of Thrones figure?
Jon Snow, yeah.
Yeah, I've got them up there. The only one,
um,
Daria.
okay, so what was your favorite toy growing up?
Um, I've actually still got them. It's the 1989 Batman collection. Uh, I've got a carded Batman with the sort of Michael Keaton rounded face, then I've got the square face. I've got two Jokers because I lost the pump off him because he squirts out of his flower. I've got the Batwing, the Batmobile. I've got, sorry,
Okay,
I've got little die-cast cars.
oh,
Pretty
that's
much all the stuff I had when I was a kid when Batman '89 came out. Because I'm pushing 40 now, so I remember it, and I've still got the collection.
that's crazy because so many people have asked that. They've said it's gotten lost, you know, wherever, or thrown out, or mother gave it away. Or it's great to
Yeah,
still have it. Like,
yeah, I had some of it I've had to replace. Over time they've broken or I've lost bits. I obviously as a kid the big thing for me was He-Man. I think anyone my age was He-Man, Thundercats,
yeah.
and Turtles. I've got one of my old Turtles up there as well. So I was a massive toy collector as a child because I did play with my toys, but I didn't trash them like other people did.
Yeah, I was the same.
And I've just never stopped.
Um, what would be in your collection now, your prized possession? Something would say if your house was on fire and you had to grab one, what would it be?
Oh, wow. That's a really difficult question.
I couldn't
Uh,
answer that myself, so
I don't think I could sort of pick one figure out of them. If I had to save a range, because I've got a DC collection, I've got a Marvel collection, I've got a Walking Dead, Ghostbusters. I think my Walking Dead collection would be what I saved above all else because that is the only collection I'm building that me and my partner both enjoy
oh
because she
sweet.
loves the Walking Dead TV series. I was collecting comic book figures from in the comic books. When she got into the TV show, then it was sort of a joint
Oh,
venture. In a
that's
very
neat.
short space of time, we just filled his cabinet with Walking Dead figures, and I
Sweet.
love McFarlane toys.
What do you think of the TV show at the moment?
It it almost lost me. The last two seasons, the Whisperers for me have saved it. They've brought
Yeah,
the horror element of it back, and they've brought a bit of um, an impending sense of doom because you never know when somebody's going to go.
yeah.
Whereas for a long time, the walkers weren't scary anymore, and then Negan and Rick's group, none of them could shoot. They could fire guns, but you'd be more chance getting shot by a stormtrooper.
Yeah, I was going to say they went to Stormtrooper school. um, okay, so if you could have any franchise be made by any line, like a dream action figure line, who would it be, or what would it be?
Um, Obviously, from when I was a kid, Thundercats were massive for me. So was He-Man, but there's a lot of He-Man stuff out there. They obviously do re-releases, and I know there's new stuff coming. But I also loved this TV show, a cartoon called Mask when I was a kid.
I remember it.
And I would love for somebody like McFarlane to get his hands on that and do the figures and the vehicles, because I like what he's doing with the DC range.
Yeah.
Um, like he's done the building figures for The Walking Dead, and I would love to see what he could do for those figures in another, a 6-inch scale or a
Yeah.
7-inch scale with the big. I know it would be expensive, but I loved
Yeah.
Mac. I love to have the adult.
I had a good few of those as well. It would be quite, yeah, as you were saying though, it would be quite expensive, wouldn't
Yeah, yeah, but I'm not very good at finishing lines. I'll start something and then I'll see something else and I'll start that, and then
it?
I got distracted by Funko Pops and
I'm very much picker and chooser. I never really finish lines, so to speak. I'd rather like grab characters I love, or you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, the only two lines I no, I finished three lines. I've got the Endgame figures because I wanted to build Thanos. Oh no, there wasn't Endgame, was it? It was Infinity.
Infinity War.
And then I did the Bro Thor wave because when that movie came out, I mean, Cap lifting the hammer, that was great. But seeing a fat superhero with a big beard, I was like, this film would be for me. I need that action figure. I know it's one of the smaller of the builder figures, but I loved it, so I bought I
I
pre-ordered the
I
entire
actually
thing.
love his look when he comes out and with the power and the two axes. It looks, or the hammer
Yeah.
and the axe. He looks amazing. This is a new question now, so you'll be the first one being asked it. Tell us a funny action figure related story, if you have one.
Um, actually, well, I my stepkids have a running sort of gag with me. That I don't say you're not allowed in my room, you're not allowed to touch stuff.
Hmm.
But it's like some of this stuff is going to be worth money. A lot of it is worth money. Don't break anything, because I used to have an Xbox and a TV in here, and I'd come in and then one of them would have had my Marvel Legends in, we'll say, compromising positions, and it wasn't always male on female. It was again, Batman would sneak in there, and so
And
in
he's making
regards to
away with Wonder Woman.
yeah, it started off, I'd come in and something would be turned around. I'd be like, "Oh, who's been playing with my toys?" And they're like, "Grow up, you're nearly 40." But then it progressed. Then it's a good laugh, and they've never broke anything. I think I've broke more than they have.
Yeah, so that's the interview. What I always do then at the end of every interview is give you the floor so you can plug yourself and tell us where we can find you and stuff. So fire away.
Okay, so also I've got the YouTube channel, Bearded Geek Reviews. I do have a Facebook page and Twitter, but for the life of me, I can't. I think it's just Bearded Geek, the Bearded Geek on Facebook, and then my Twitter, I'm not sure. I don't really do anything other than post what's already on YouTube. I've looked into action figures photography, but I'm not very good at it. um, but on my channel at the moment, I am running a giveaway for 300 subscribers. I've got it's easy to show you. I've got sort of a box of goodies there that
Oh, nice.
I'm looking to get off to people. So obviously on my channel, if you want to check it out, there's a video for the 300 subscriber. It's hashtag road to 300 in the comments, and then you get entered into the draw. And there's Funko Pops, there's action figures, there's a few little surprises in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, I think.
Fair play. That's a great idea. I did that for, I think it was 100 subscribers. I gave away a Black Series Luke Skywalker at the time, I think it was. But yeah, it's great to get people to your channel that way as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I did a Rick and Morty bundle at 100. 200, I can't remember what I gave away. I must have given something away, but yeah, it gets other people sort of promoting your work for you as well. They'll
yeah,
put it on their
exactly.
Twitters, and it does help. I mean, maybe people will only come in for the giveaway, but maybe it'll go to a good home, or somebody else that's on
Yeah,
YouTube. They record a video, they promote you, you can promote your friends through, and you can sort of build a community through it. As I am quite heavily involved in the small YouTuber community in regards to Funko Pops, with people like the Geeky Heathen, Jimmy Barnes, not suitable for mum. We've got this really tight knit group of sort of 12 of
Yeah,
us, and we just promote everything we can to sort of help the community to grow.
that's good to have stuff like that though as well.
Yeah, it is definitely.
So yeah, so that's excellent. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me on, and thank you very much for thinking of me. It's quite
Oh, not
surprising
at all.
after watching Super Sorrel.
I mean, I just look. I use this thing to promote other people as well. It's not just about myself, or you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
when you're climbing that wall, you got to help the others over as well.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So yeah, so thanks for coming on, man. Um,
yeah, but
everybody check out his channel. He's an awesome guy. If you've watched this interview, you will have seen that. And yeah, thanks very much.
okay, brilliant.
Uh,
Thank you.
so that was Dayle from Bearded Geek Reviews. He's really sound. It's great to chat with another YouTuber on their experiences growing their channel and seeing their collections and stuff like that. Make sure you give him a follow, or sorry, make sure you give him a subscribe and check out his other socials, which will be in the description. And thanks again for watching. Hope you really enjoyed it. Don't forget to drop me a subscribe if you're feeling generous. And yeah, so that's me out. Bye.